Okay. So once again, thank you for this short introduction. As you said, my name is Kate, and with me is Chris today. We are from Appsvio company, and today we would like to tell you a little about Jira Service Management with some apps and with some additional features. And I hope that you enjoy our use case. Very simple, but I think that understandable for everyone. So let's go.
Yeah, so I'm Chris. Hi everyone, and thank you, Kevin, for inviting us. So this slide is about Appsvio, and Appsvio is a company, it's a Polish company created by three friends, Kate, me, and Peter. Peter is our CTO, and he's probably coding right now somewhere in Poland. We have a silver marketplace partner badge, which means that we are not very small. We are focused on the Jira Service Management area. So most of our focus is about JSM apps, but of course we have some more apps, not only for JSM but also for the Jira software. But today we'll be talking about JSM. We won the Code Guys 3 times in a row, which is pretty cool. And last year we were funded by Atlassian Ventures, and this was like a great acceleration for our development and for our company.
Yeah, and as Chris mentioned, we are a marketplace partner, vendor. Currently, we have 9 apps on the Atlassian marketplace. All of them are available for cloud, but 3 of them you can find also in version for data center. And this big 3 will be presented here, will be presented during our presentation today. So it will be about issue merger, customer organization management, and also feature bundle. But today we would like to focus on Jira Service Management area. So let's start with a short introduction to our use case.
Yeah, so just to give us some kind of knowledge about your experience level, because probably you have a different one. So can you tell us if you feel like a JSM on an entry level, or you are an expert? So we don't have many participants, so it would be great if you could just tell us on which level you are, or you can also use the chat if you like. So are you an expert, or are you at the beginning? Great, so we have 1 expert, intermediate. Okay, so we know about Heinrich and Kevin, of course. So we try to adjust the presentation, and also if you have any questions, you can just type them in the chat, and at the end we try to answer them.
Okay, so when you have a little experience, it's enough to know that Jira Service Management is a very powerful product. But on the other hand, it has got a lot of limitations. And we saw some 7 pain points in case of using native functionalities, which can be frustrating and annoying, especially on a large scale. And today we would like to show you these pain points and our solutions for these 7 pain points. I hope that you will find them useful for you, your companies and projects. So let's start with short introduction to our use case.
So it will be story. So we prepared the story for you. So the story is about the Platinum Solution Partner located in Meru. And the company is called Atlas. And there is going to be a huge meeting, a very important meeting of the management board about the sales data, and the sales team was asked to prepare a report about the financial impact of missing the server hosting for the next years. And one of the management member asked the sales team to print a copy of that report, like to bring a copied, printed version of the report to the meeting. And the report was done just a few minutes before the meeting began. So there was not enough time to do so. Unfortunately, John, who is our member of the sales team, wasn't able to print the report because any printer in the Meru location, they just stopped working. And John started thinking about creating an incident in Jira Service Management.
Okay, so this is our introduction, and let's go to Jira Service Management. I am a service agent, and I know about this incident that printers don't work in our office. So I create incident in Jira, and I want to avoid being flooded by a lot of requests because I have a lot of employees in this office, a lot of requests about broken printers. So how I can secure me and my team to being flooded by all of these requests. So first thing, I created this incident, and I use one of our app called Issue Merger to automatically merge issues which will be created in the future about this incident. So let's go to the configuration and we will see what are the conditions. So here I have got a rule called printer issues. And in this rule, I have a condition that if customer request type is equal to report issue with printer, and if this request is created within given hours, some actions will be triggered. So the first thing, fields from this request, description and priority, will be merged to my incident. So my incident is my target issue, the mother of all issues about this problem with printer. The next thing is that I would like to add public comment to source issue. So to every request which will be created by my employees, thanks to this information, they will have access to the incident and they will know what is going on with the request. Another thing is that I want to add reporters of source issue as request participants in target issues. So thanks to this operation, these employees will have access to this incident, which I've already created. I would like to also move all these source issues to status work in progress. And the last thing is that I want to link source and target issues with link time relates to. And thanks to this operation, I will know which tickets are linked to each other. So everything will be in one place. So my incident will be the one source of truth according to this problem. The next thing which I would like to do is creating banner. I would like to inform people that I know that our printers in Meru location don't work and we are working on it. So I don't use a typical banner available in Jira Service Management. I use banner from our another app feature bundle. As you can see, it's very visible and highlighting the most important information. So the ongoing incident, and it's very catchy. And this is thanks to one of our feature in this app. So I made some actions as a service agent.
Yeah, and me as John, which is part of the sales team, decided that I will create a JSM ticket for the broken printer. And this is, of course, the urgent case for John. So I saw the banner but I decided to do so because I expect that someone will help me with the broken printer. So I just started creating a new request. So I provided summary. I left the priority to medium at this moment. And once I created a request, I see something like this. And the first thing that John saw is a very large red announcement banner with information about the escalation path. So John is aware what he should do. There is also a workflow preview that shows in which phase the issue is. And once we refresh the page, you will see that the auto-merge rule that Kate created earlier worked as expected. So we see that there's a connection to the initial incident. And also, once the rule was executed and connects the Jones ticket to the initial incident, the status of the Jones ticket changed to work in progress. So we see here that we are in the middle of fixing the issue, right? So we are no longer on the open stage, we are in the in progress, and there could be many status mapped to those stages. So John saw this, he backed to this information, and he decides to escalate the ticket because he needs the printed version of the report. So he clicked on the escalate button on the customer portal, and he changed the priority from medium to critical. And let's see what happens. So once the issue is refreshed, we see that there's a new status for the issue. It's called escalated. So John knows that someone will be working on it shortly. And let's see how it looks like from the agent perspective. So we have a ticket that has been escalated. So we are just going to our queues, and there's a queue called escalated, and we see the Jones ticket here. And we also see information about the initial incidents that our auto-merge, the rule that Kate created, linked to that issue. So once we enter the issue, we see all details. We see to which incident the Jones request is connected to, and we also see information or see details about the escalation. So basically, it's information who did and when the escalation was done.
Okay, and on this issue view, agent has got also access to information about reporter because we don't have in native Jira Service Management, we don't have any possibility to collect any attributes about customers as well as organizations. And with our another app called Customer and Organization Management, you can collect this information and present them also on the issue view. So here I was clicking on this issue glance, and I have some information about this reporter. So here we have got information about his position, telephone, some contact details. Also, we have information about organizations to which this reporter belongs to. Also, it's a short link to his open and closed request. This information are collected in our app. So they are not custom fields, but you can use these values and using our post function copy values, you can copy this data to custom fields. And thanks to copying this data to custom fields, you can use them in a lot of places in Jira. So the one of this place is a queue. So thanks to this information, you can define your queue. And for example, you can copy information that the reporter is from Office Meru to custom field called Office with option Meru. And thanks to this, everyone who creates a ticket from the Meru office will be listed here. What's more, you can use this information to define JQL, so you can save some filters, use them on dashboard. For example, you can create some statistics for your service teams. Also, you can use this information to define your SLA, because in SLA you also need JQL to define all conditions. So thanks to this information, you can also have different SLA depending, for example, from support tier.
Yeah, and right now I will show you the main place of the app that we are focused on today. So it's a customer and organization. So it's like a center of this app, a heart of this app. It's a place where we bundle or we display all customers and organizations from all projects across your Jira instance. So as Kate said, there's no such view on the JSM, and we have it. As on the issue view, I'm able to update any information for the customer. It depends on the configuration, because those fields are defined in our app. I can choose the values for the fields, like on the issue view. The same with the organization. And imagine that you have like 20,000 customers or even more. So in JSM, out of the box, there's no easy way to search for the customers or for the organizations, but we have this feature. So let's try to find John. Yeah, and we have it. So it took us like 200 milliseconds. So right now we are able to manage the John's data. We can change them, or we can just take a look at those data and use it, like use a telephone number or something else. There are also some additional features around this table, which is pretty cool. So you can define which columns are visible, and once you refresh the page, or even if you back to this view tomorrow, or even in a month, you will have the same view with the same settings. There's also advanced settings for the filtering options, so we can search for each attribute separately. You can add some conditions and or like define the logical operators, which is also very powerful. And for each section, for each page, we have dedicated actions just under the table, and in this case, it's just the add customer feature. So you can create some customers by hand, and you can define many of them. So you can add many customers as a one operation. And what else? You can also define to which projects those customers would be added. This is something that is very hard to achieve within the pure JSM. And once you select at least one customer, or even all of them, you can change the settings. So we can add projects to those customers or delete projects. No, you can't delete projects. So there's also a way to add projects. And you can also select a few projects at once. So it's also very handy. There's also a way to, there's a remove or add organizations to selected customers. So if you have many objects, many customers, many organizations, it will be sometimes a life savings. For the organizations, we have similar options. So we can add an organization. So you just need to provide a name, and you can select which projects the organization will be added. So this is pretty cool as well, as it's not easy available in the pure JSM. And the same, once you select at least one organization, you can edit customers, you can also remove them. And the same with the projects. You can add projects, remove projects from the selected organizations. What's more, so when I go back to the to the view without any filters, I'm able to export everything to the CSV. So if you have like many of customers, you can export everything and work on those data somehow. You can also import this info. You can also import customers from the external systems by preparing a CSV file. And even if there is no existing customers, this feature will create a new customer account for them. So it's not only the update, but it's also about the creating objects like the customers and the organizations. And you may wonder how the fields are defined, because we have like contact time slots, contact preferences here, LinkedIn profile. So they are defined in the forms section, and they are represented as internal app fields. Very similar concept to or even the same concept as a custom fields in Jira. So you just need to add a type from this list. If you'd like to add a new field, provide a name, and you're ready to set. Like if you add a field that is a complex type of field, then you just need to provide the options as additional settings for this field. And there's also a way to translate the names and the options, which might be useful for some teams. So this is about the configuration. There's also option to display or to ask for those data from the customer portal directly. So if your customers log in on the customer portal, we are able to display a window with those fields, and the customer would be able to provide values for the fields. It could be useful in many cases, in many use cases. There's also REST API. So if you looking for a way of uploading or creating objects using some middleware, so you are able to do so. So we have a great REST APIs for most common endpoints. And what's more, yeah, there's a post function which Kate mentioned also, so we can copy those data into the custom fields, which you can use them later in the JQL or in the SLA goal definition.
Okay, and one more thing, when you are an agent and when you have to create the ticket to, for example, maintain or order a new printer, it can be very frustrating that I have to all the time put the same information. So this is why you can use our another app, which is totally free, issue templates agent for Jira. And thanks to this, as you can see, when I select this project and this issue type, I have some pre-filled information. So summary, some description, as you can see, with some very visible banner with some formatting. And this is the template which helps me to create a new ticket faster and quicker. And it's available for all software projects. Okay, so let's come back to our presentation and summarize the whole story. So you had a chance to see some 7 pain points which we presented during our presentation. So first thing was that customers are not informed in advance. And in our use case, we decided to put some announcement banners on Help Center, customer portal, in different places. Another thing is that customers cannot update the priority after creating a request. And the priority was in our use case, but generally, this is the huge gap in Jira Service Management, that customers cannot update their ticket after creating this ticket. So this is why we presented our solution, which allows your customers to update this data. What's more, customers don't have basic information about the request, and they don't know what the request lifecycle looks like. So this is why we presented this request steps panel with additional information. What is going on with the ticket? What does it mean this stage? What is in progress? What is in open stage? And also we presented some problems and some frustrations in case of agents. First thing, agents don't know how to manage many similar incidents. And in our story, we had very simple use case about broken printer, but it's hard to imagine how to manage more complicated and more complex incidents on a large scale. So not only 2-3 incidents, but for example, 100 incidents. So this is why we presented our app issue merger, to merge these incidents and to have one single point to communicate with our customers, not to copy paste the same comment to every request that, oh yeah, we know we are working on this problem, we know about this incident. So we have one ticket, one incident, and agent has to assist only this one request. Another thing is that agents don't know the customer context. So very often agents have to ask all the time, what is your office? What is your telephone number? What is your role in your organization? And thanks to our app, Customer and Organizations Management, you can collect this data and you have one place, one source of truth about your customer, but also about organizations. And the last thing, that agents cannot manage customers and organizations on a large scale. As you know, in Jira Service Management, you have to add every customer separately to service projects, to organizations. And it's very difficult if you have 1,000 or more customers, or when you migrate from another system. So this is why we created our app, Customer and Organization Management. And with this app, it's very easy to manage customers and organizations on a large scale, thanks to bulk options, thanks to import and export from CSV files. So in this very short and very simple story, we presented 7 pain points. And also you had a chance to see 3 solutions provided by our company. So it was feature bundle for Jira Service Management. Thanks to this app, you can customize banners, you can present request workflow on the portal, and also your customers can edit requests. Another app, Issue Merger Pro, to merge issues in Jira. And the last thing, Customer and Organization Management, to manage all these people in your instance. And also we in the end present Issue Templates Agent for Jira. It's our free app built on the Forge platform, and thanks to this you can have this template immediately on the create issue screen. And this is it from our side. Now it's time for Q&A question. I see that we have something on chat. Okay, so we have got from Heinrich. If we need to develop and deploy a CRM/JSM system for a client, what is the best CRM to integrate with JSM? You can answer at the end as JSM is not a native CRM. Yeah, it's true. JSM is not a native CRM. Our solution, Customer and Organization Management, honestly speaking, is only a part of the CRM, because it's not about any deals or some information about companies. And what we can recommend in case of integration, we can recommend HubSpot, because we use this tool in our company and we know that it's very powerful. And what's more, we have on the marketplace integration between HubSpot and Jira. So thanks to our app, you can present data on issue view from HubSpot. We match email addresses from the ticket and from HubSpot. And thanks to this integration, you can present information about the customer on the issue view. So you don't have to switch between tools. You don't have to access to HubSpot because everything is available in your fingertips in Jira issue. So what we can recommend is using HubSpot.
Okay, and second question is about phasing out the organization automatically after a given time. So right now we don't have this this option, but I'm thinking about any automation rule that can do that. So yeah, Kate, do you think that there's automation rule?
Native automation rule is not available, but I think that it's very nice idea for a new feature to our app because yeah, I know that you have to check dates and do it manually. So this is a feature request to our app.
Yeah, to add some kind of automation.
Yes, to removing some customers from organizations or some projects.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very nice idea for the future.
Okay, so do you have any other questions? 2 questions, so it's not bad. We are happy with 2 questions. Maybe there will be one more.
Awesome. First of all, I want to appreciate a very awesome presentation. I don't know if I could have been able to just ensure that I package all the 7 points and see how I can be able to do it all in such a short presentation. Thank you so much, Kate and Chris, for that. It was totally awesome.
Thank you.
At least I've contributed. I can say I've contributed as a feature request with my question. I had something with regards to customers and organizations. Let's say, or any of the products, maybe if it's issue manager or any of the Appsvio products. I wanted to know is if we're having different agents handling tickets in an organization, is it possible to know if for a certain customer, maybe I could be able to see like these are the number of tickets that are open and the number of tickets that are closed. Is it possible to know maybe over time how fast or how slow tickets are being opened and closed? In a way, maybe to try to see within the organization, are we serving customers faster or slower?
So something time in status. It's the app on the marketplace, and with it's not our app, but I think it's the most known app from this area that you can define which status are interested for you, and this app counts how many times this ticket was in this status, and you can create some very advanced diagrams to have some analytics. So I think it can be a good solution to check because in our apps we don't have such feature. Yeah,
I wanted to know whether it is there within the customers and organizations where you have it, so that instead of maybe having that app, which is totally great, is it something that you can be able to see in your own kind of a dashboard without any context switching between the apps? But yeah, sure. I think the other app can function as well, and yeah, it can really help with regards to seeing whether the kind of processes are moving. And you've talked about a certain good point about the issue life cycle, and maybe how the customer can be able to view it. I remember when we were starting out, I told you, like, for example, in Kenya, you have to go through 7 approvals for you to start a business as an external investor coming into Kenya. And obviously, maybe through the app, if there's something that has been done through JSM, the customer can be able to visualize that whole process, right? And is it possible to maybe integrate a way that maybe you can suggest, for example, I've been able to see that there's issue merger, right? could there be something like a process merger? For example, like if you're having 7 steps and you can see it can be done in 4 steps, can we be able to say, can we merge this step and this step, or we can merge this issue, or maybe it doesn't have to go through this approval? I don't know. What do you think about that? In a way to obviously serve because it's all about the customer, right? So is it, for example, like since the customer can be able to see the whole life cycle, and I've also seen maybe the customer can give feedback, for example, can give feedback in terms of their details, can update, there's a front-facing side for the customer. Is there a way maybe you can be able to even get feedback from the customer and say, okay, I saw that this is a step in the process that we might not maybe actually need. I don't know. What do you think about that?
So the workflow steps are like once you create a stage, because we had 3 stages, right? The opening, progress, and close, and each stage is mapped to Jira statuses. So if you'd like to, for example, restrict some actions based on the phase or stage, it's basically the same like restriction based on the issue status.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Issue stages. Okay. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that's unless maybe there's someone wants to ask a question live. I can see Henry. Thanks so much. Henry says he was joining in from somewhere. I don't know whether he can unmute or maybe ask something. I hope you're able to answer his question. First, and I can see Damilola and Jamex. If there's anything you wanted to ask, that would be awesome to ask. Damilola, any? If you have, or
no, none. Oh,
awesome. So, I really love the way you customized it to the Meru, and if you have about offices and branches. Is there a way to visualize different offices in one kind of a dashboard or something like that? For example, you can be able to see these are the issues that have been opened and closed in one office. For example, you're having a Meru office, we're having maybe a Nairobi office, a Mombasa office. Let's say we're having offices across even the globe, maybe another office in Poland. Can we be able to see that? Or is it something that is
yes, it will be to do it on dashboard, because when you use this copy values post function, you have information about this office or any different information in custom field, and you can use this information to build your gadget on dashboard. So you can present, for example, how many tickets are created in Meru office, and how many are on open and how many are on closed status. So thanks to this copy post function, thanks to this mapping, it's possible to do it.
Awesome.
We know that this is some redundancy that we done on our side, but we decided that it's the best and the only one way to copy the data from our app into the ticket level and then use this information later.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. I saw about the export feature. The export for that was the export for what? For the customers, right?
And organizations also.
And the organizations, right? So once you get that, for example, for the import, so you can is there like, for example, a template where you can use for the import, or you have to export what you already have so that you can get to know the fields that you need to.
So better option, like we have a template for very basic settings, because it's always about the fields that you defined in our app, and our instance. On our instance, we have some kind of fields, and your own instance, you have your own field. You have your own fields with your own names, and there probably will be a different type of fields as well. So what I would suggest here is make an export first, modify the file, and then use this file to import into the app.
Oh, nice. That is be awesome. So, so I don't know whether I'll be poking noses, but I don't know whether you have a roadmap, a future roadmap of what you're planning to do, or any new product that you're about to launch. That would be awesome to know.
So we don't have any public roadmap, but currently in case of customer and organization management, we are working on some some technical issues to speed up these views. So we are working on better user experience using these views. Also, we will release next week possibility to sort columns. Also possibility to present organizations on the customer view, because now it's not available. And what's more, we have some plans to make using these views in more efficient way. And one of our idea is to possibility to save these views. So for example, you will be able to create separate views for every organization or for every company. It depends on your needs. So this is very huge things on which we will work. Also, we have some ideas to make rows colorful, to highlight the most important information, for example, to highlight your VIP customers. So this is our another idea. And also we would like to add some forms, because now you have to create fields which are available for customer or for organizations, and you can modify it and have different forms in different situations. So this is what we would like to also add. And we would like to add support for different field types to collect data, for example, time zones, some smart fields like link to LinkedIn or Skype. So this is also what is on our roadmap in case of this app. And in case of feature bundle, next week we will release a new feature to present values from fields which are not on the request form. So thanks to this feature, you will be able to present some additional information for your customer. And also we will add option to present the list of all attachments on the request details view, so your customers won't have to scroll all the activity, because everything will be in one place. And also we will present information from asset fields, because we are working to have this integration with assets very close in our apps. So this is our short roadmap, and we switch to HubSpot CRM integration, because we have a lot of feature requests for this app to have better integration between Jira and HubSpot.
Thank you so much. That was pretty much an awesome way to wrap up the whole thing. You started by saying you don't have a public roadmap, but that was a roadmap in itself. I really appreciate it, Chris and Kate.
Yeah, and we also put on our roadmap your request about removing this access to this projects, because I think that is very nice idea, and we definitely should add it.
Sure. Because sometimes having like lifetime access to a project, it wouldn't be practical, because certain projects, people coming and move, get out of it. Maybe certain agents move up levels, something like that. That is awesome. So thanks so much for taking a time. I know you went a bit over time. We started a bit late, and I would be happy that next time I would actually would want us to, maybe in our next session, we have a hands-on, and I'll bring on members to try out the apps, install them, especially the free one as we start out, and try out this process.
Yeah, thank you.
Some internet issue.
Hello, is it on our side? Hello. So I think that we'll be ending, and thank you. Or maybe Kevin is joining again. Hello, Kevin. Again.
Hello. Sorry, my laptop power just went off a bit.
Okay.
And I just had to switch to my phone, and I didn't have time to just. Actually, I got the notification and just ignored it, but it's okay. So I think that is basically it. Unless you have something to add as we finish up.
Yeah, I think that we can finish. Thank you once again for your invitation, participation, and it will be. It was great to be a co-host today.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the day, and see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.